We are live officially on YouTube. That's right. Damn, it's going to make it tough. All right. Yes, this is going to be a good live stream. I'm excited. The plan for the day is to remove some material from our California, New York compliant AR grip. It currently takes this shape. I'm having issues with the second nub putting additional pressure on the pinky. Now, I broke my pinky punching a locker in high school, so it naturally wants to turn in a little bit tighter than probably most people's. So it's rather uncomfortable for me. But all the same, I feel that the grip could do without the nub in between the ring and pinky finger. So we're going to work on completely removing the second nub. All right. However, before we get to that, I just want everybody to relax, because this is long-form content. So we are going to take a smoke break. Because what did McLeach say in Rescuers Down Under? I didn't make it all the way through the third grade for nothing. Cheers. All right, and let's begin. I'm going to start by sharing the screen. We're going to jump into a blender. Okay. Now, I've been on Blender for exactly 1 day now. And the plan here is to remove the second nub. Here it is. I've already made a model where I partially removed the nub because I want to try a half removed just to see if it works. So the first thing we're going to do is, after we've uploaded, we're going to go to File, Import, STL, and of course you're going to pull from wherever it is that you've got your files. You're going to pull your STL file in. Make sure that your file is in STL format. You might not find the file there. Your file might be in a 3MF or in some non-compatible format. So make sure that you have an STL or open up some sort of file conversion program. So I use something like Shaper or Cura, or any slicing program will also import mesh files and export them as STLs. So after you've got your file selected and imported, it's going to show up somewhere on this map. You might not see it, okay? But you'll see it up here in the right-hand corner on your inventory menu. What I often do is, in the whole one day I've been on here, is go to object mode, and I will grab the item and I will replace it in front of me. Now this one is, I'm going to grab it and place it in front of me right here. Okay. Boom. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to come underneath the object where I want to start to do some editing. I'm going to hold Shift and the center mouse roller to move myself around on a flat plane. And then I'm going to hold the center of the mouse to turn around my center axis. So we want to edit it now. So we can move it around, of course, and do all this stuff, but let's just jump right into editing. We're going to jump out of object mode up here in the left-hand corner. We're going to come down to sculpt. I haven't played with any of the other modes yet, so this is just what I'm going to do to get the results that I need for today. I've got somebody who ordered this and would like my most recent version, so I need to get this out. I promised I'd have it shipped by tomorrow. So the first thing I selected is smooth. And actually, I'm going to change it up. Draw sharp. Actually, we're going to go over to trim over here on the right-hand side. I'm going to line it up so I can see it. So it's kind of skylined there. And I'm just going to work it back. And after it gets to a solid color face, I'm going to come off from it. And I'm just swirling my mouse around just a little bit, kind of working it down. And then you'll kind of come to a stale point where you got to switch up your direction, your angle of attack. And I just wanted to step back there and take a look at the model as a whole. And again, I'm trying to envision a human hand going around this thing. Okay, I think I do want to leave just a little bit of a bubble there. I know you're like, holy cow, this is pretty rough, dude. I know. I know. Thankfully, we've got this blender tool that's smooth right next to our trim. I'm guessing these three are the most popular tools. This elastic grab, which allows you to grab and pull, the trim, and the smooth. All right, so I'm just clicking and holding down as I move through here. Yeah, this is not perfect. This is just for us to kind of get a better idea. But while I'm doing this, I'm thinking, I'm imagining where my fingers are going to lay here. And they're going to slide back at this angle. Okay. So, and with my finger, I think that they're actually, I think that people's hands are going to want to come forwards. I know that's why the prongs were there in the first place, but I feel like this front one is enough with a lighter ridge on the backside. We're going to sacrifice a little bit of that stopping power for a little bit more comfort. A lot more comfort, actually. All right, so I'm going to take a second and actually put the grip in my hand here. It's nice to have a printed copy that you're working off. And it'll actually be forwards. See, it's here. It's this pinky action. That I would like to have it come closer. It doesn't feel right here. Also, I want to lose some material off this back nub and on this inside edge right here. Right where that comes down and in on the right hand side. Okay, so that's going to be right here. And we're going to trim some material out. And we're just going to knock it back just a little bit. Just take your paintbrush and just brush those trees in there, those Bob Ross trees. Just going to smooth it out a little bit. So I'm going to bring this back up then. I don't like that. So here are kind of the primary options for Blender, but there's more. Okay, if you see over here on the right hand side, there's more options if we scroll down, and we can actually use our mouse scroller to scroll up and down. You just have to have your cursor down here. Okay. These are more grab options. These are like these or like grab and pull. You've got some paint options. I think I'm after something in here, something like this. Like this. Because I wanted to grab and bring in surroundings with it. This one is grab with defined edges. Grab the silhouette. All right, well, we're just going to go with this because I think this fits what we're doing here. I don't like how it's a grab and pull, so I'm going to switch back to a more of a draw and just click and hold. Clay, I thought, was a good one. Thought it was a pretty rough pattern. I don't like how pixelated it is. In that, after my points have been set, it doesn't make additional points. It doesn't break the angles down to make softer angles. I know that sounds strange, but what it's doing when it's in the smooth is it's just dividing the angles around it in half or whatever. So it's not actually making new mesh points. It's using the same mesh points, just changing their location. Does it make new mesh points? I don't know. He's only been using it for a day. I was under the impression it did not, from my experience of working with it earlier today. Okay, so that beefed that up a little bit. Again, this is all to kind of relieve the pressure off the inside of the palm. Just underneath this part of your hand. There's a buildup of pressure right here as the bottom part of your pinky wants to roll under. And I do want to put a little pedal out there still. All right, let's move forward with this. I don't really like the shape of that. We'll work on that. We got to add some product to that. All right, I went into trim mode. We're just trying to, again, take a little bit more out of down here. That was kind of a lot. All right. Yeah, she's looking pretty ugly right now. But just wait a minute or 45 minutes. All right, let's get back to really focusing on the finger placement. All right, we're going to come down here and check out what's going on with this corner. I think basically this hole from here to here could be softened. This whole ridge is going to have to come down. Although that is the backstop. I understand its purpose. Let's just lighten it up a little bit. It's going to seem like a lot, but we're really not taking any of the depth of it off. We're just kind of just softening up the corners just a little bit. If you take a look at the overall depth of the hump, it's still going to be there. Now, some of these creases, you see them here. But in my experience in printing, that doesn't show up. That doesn't even show up, right? Like, you don't even see that. It appears perfectly smooth. Okay, still a little bumpy for sure. slightly less appealing than it was. All right, I suppose I'm okay with that. Now, this does look more comfortable. I will not lie to you about that. I still feel like there's some extra chunkage on here, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like we could lose something. Some of this belly fat right in here or something. I think what I want to do is I want to make this this right here. We're going to add some depth to help the fingers kind of grab that crease. Okay, and backstory, I've got about a year with Blender. Or not a year. I've got a year with Shaper 3D, a little bit over. About a year and 3 months. Now, Shaper 3D is really nothing like Blender. It in a sense it is, where it's a 3D modeling software, but it doesn't have many of these features. Blender is a free program. Shaper 3D is a free program. I think I want to eat just a little bit more off this right there. Well, that's kind of a lot. Alrighty, we tore it apart. I always over dig because it's just going to refill quite a bit. Be surprised how much of what we took out is going to be replaced. Okay, finishing up the softening of the bottom. Some light bumps, but we're going to cut that off just a little bit. All right, then we're going to soften it up again. And you can hear me clicking around. Sometimes I'm doing individual clicks to call out just want to see what a small change there will do versus click and drag is certainly more excessive. Yeah, sorry, I was getting kind of micro there, and I should have stepped back first. I think that this looks okay. There should be more of a hinge here. I feel like I need to dig out more on the back side, right here. There should be a specific angle that needs to be followed. Something similar to that. All right, that should give us just a little bit more of a backstop. I believe if you were to right click, you would bring up the settings for the strength, the radius. I haven't messed with any of these yet, but I'm sure that'll be fun when we do get there. All right, let's step back here. I think that's pretty close to what I was going for. I don't really like this area. I don't like this area. That barely passes. I mean, it fills it right in. See, this is where I wish it would let's see here. Similar to relax. All right, let's start with relax slide. Slides the topography of the mesh in the direction of the stroke while preserving the geometrical shape of the mesh. Alternatively, smooths the mesh on shift. Also useful for redistributing topology where it's needed. I don't believe that's what I need. So for me, it's this. It's I need for more mesh points to be made here. I want to take our big triangles and I want to make more little triangles. You think that that would happen when you pick something like grab silhouette, that it would make more, but it doesn't. It just keeps what you've got there and pulls what you have around, which is can be disappointing. So something I could do there would be to add a new blob to it with new mesh configurations that I could then redistribute over the area. All takes time. So I clearly don't have Blender all figured out yet, but we are working on it together. So here's like when you're doing trim painting in your house. You want to bring that brush right up to the edge. Just going to kind of line ourselves up here to really calculate how all this is going to lay in the eye. So ugly. Oh, man. Oh, yuck. What is that? You know, I'm not sure that nub would be a bad thing, but I don't think it's going to be comfortable. Let's talk about it for a second. Let's put it in our hands and let's talk about it. That's the right thing to do. So the hand rides pretty high on the grip, and the index finger runs forward. Ring finger comes back. This nub is now gone here. So the pinky is probably going to come tighter to the ring finger, and this knob is the right-hand side just in front of that point. Nope. Got to get rid of it. Boy, this thing does need a brake pedal on this left-hand side. I mean, it just flat out, it does. It would be so much better if it had one. Just a little pocket to put your thumb on. See, now, I have one with it on already. Let me back out and show you what that looks like. So there's my current flat version, which, god darn, I do kind of like it a little better. I don't know. I like our current one. I like our current one a lot. So I've been working on this for a minute. I'm not sure if it needs to be bigger than that. Ideally, it would be twice that size. But when I make it bigger, if something happens to you, heaven forbid, your right hand goes down, this grip still has to function for left-handed persons. Okay. So if I put a big brake pedal on the left-hand side of this sucker, that brake pedal, which is going to be permanent, is going to be right in the padding of your trigger finger. Not ideal. So that's the one hesitant when reason to hesitate to put the brake pedal on it. Now, what do? You build a dang brake pedal and you print them both. That's what you do. Boy, I sure took off more of that front side of that nub. So it's that's what's been bringing it in. Okay, so I think we can add some material back in. Oh, do I want to? Not really. I kind of want to continue to just take more material out. It's pretty beefy in the hand, I'm not going to lie. Now, you're looking at this interior and you're thinking that, like, oh, this is going to feel weird, but you don't touch any of this. Your fingers leave it at about right there and about right there. You really don't touch any of these. I mean, I suppose your fingers do kind of, the fat of your finger does hang into it just a little bit, but it just needs to be thick enough to hold, and we could definitely use some more material up there, I think. Oh, sorry, we're lost. We're not really adding much material there. There she goes. Hmm. All right, smooth it down. All right, we're starting to kind of tune it up a little bit here. Yeah, just a little bit too much material up in there yet. Switch out to cut. Not exactly getting speedy results with that. How many times do I had to click? Jeepers. Yeah, that should be pretty close. All right, we're in focus mode. All right, it's starting to look a little better. We can be honest about that. We just got to get down and look down all the edges here to see how she's going to feel when we make contact. Yeah, I don't like the grab. Now, that's the one thing that this is not. This is not labeled as dynamic topography, that's for sure. Let's try that. Just going to grab the brush, smooth it out. Just smooth it out. That ended up taking more material off than I wanted. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Say hello to the people.
Going.
Hello, indeed, people. Oh my goodness. This is coming along swimmingly. Now, could I add a blob in? Is that don't really know much about this. I wasn't planning on adding stuff in, but if I was going to add stuff in, I think I would do that through object. I wonder if I can add more. I don't think so. Okay, that is going to work as our flat new California version. All right. So we're going to jump over to our second one, and I want to make this just a little bit different. If we're going for it, let's go for it. That's what I say. So what I'm going to do then is we're going to hold on to this one, but we're going to bring that first one back. I'm going to make a duplicate of it. I need to be an object. Go to object. See how it's highlighted here? It's also highlighted up here. Grab and click, drag it over. We're just going to drop it in right next door. Click, highlights it there, highlights it up here. So I clicked on it because it's the one I want to make go away. Highlighted it up here in the upper right. Click to remove it out of view. We are also going to remove the original out of view so we don't get make mistakes while we're working. Version control. All right. How do we add an object in? Because that's how I want to do this. I want to add a the ball's perfect. All right, can we scale it? Yes, we can. Can we do uniform scaling? Is it naturally uniform? It is not. Boy, there's got to be a checkbox for that somewhere. No. It's over here on the right. Not it. I'm shocked. Affect only origins. Scale local. Yeah, that'll work. We'll work with that. Okay, so we need to union how do we union on here? Oh, how do I union? Add object. Mm-hmm. I didn't see Boolean either. That's tough. Shaping, shading, help, window, render, edit. We're looking for how to union in Blender. That's right. This is paid for by that. So it's under act. Act something. Da, 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 da. Nice. Okay, let's give that a go. I don't have the same setup. I must not be in the right mode. No, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay, so did it work? Well, they definitely were not union together. That's for sure. Maybe I uploaded the wrong shape. Alrighty then. Yes, I can add a modifier to that. Nice. Right. Let's jump into modifier. I'm waiting for like a check yes. What the heck?
We have three options. The first option is difference, the second option is union, and the third option is intersect. So back to difference. If we happy with the
Whoa. What happened now? Holy mackerel. It is a mesh body. That's for sure. Holy mackerel. Well, can we still edit it is the question. Oh, yes, but it doesn't like it at all. How did he change the colors? Because I can't see when it's black. Why did it? Why? So it's a mesh body, and it turned my STL into a mesh body. Okay, so I guess I'm back to um, yep. Boy, at that rate, I'm almost better off pulling it out myself. All right, how did he change colors? I guess I don't understand. Didn't change the color at all. All right. Well, we'll probably end that there. I'll probably print this version and the other one just to see how they feel. And we will do this again tomorrow. Very good. Deuces.